Did you know that Australia is the only continent on Earth that is also a country? It is a land of incredible contrasts, from the vast ancient outback to vibrant modern cities. To fully grasp the sheer scale of this nation, consider that Australia is almost exactly the same size as the continental United States, yet it is home to barely 10% of the population. In fact, the country is so wide that it spans a distance greater than the diameter of the moon. While the moon measures about 3,400 kilometers across, Australia stretches roughly 4,000 kilometers from east to west. It is a landmass that truly defies expectations. And speaking of size, Australia's coastline is nothing short of spectacular. The country is rimmed by so many beaches, over 10,000 of them, that if you were to visit a new beach every single day, it would take you more than 27 years to see them all. Despite this massive footprint, the interior is surprisingly empty. More than 85% of Australians live within just 50 kilometers of the coast, leaving the vast center, the outback, as one of the most sparsely populated places on the planet. It creates a sensation of isolation that is hard to find anywhere else in the modern world. Let's talk about some truly unique inhabitants. Australia is the only continent where marsupials are the dominant type of mammal. Kangaroos and wallabies aren't just iconic symbols. They are the only large animals that use hopping as their primary mode of locomotion. There are actually more kangaroos in Australia than there are humans, with estimates suggesting the roo population is nearly double the human population. Then there is the wombat, a creature with a biological trait that baffles scientists and delights tourists. Wombats produce cube-shaped droppings. This geometric oddity prevents their waste from rolling away, allowing them to mark their territory effectively on rocks and logs. Even more mysterious is the platypus. With its duckbill, beaver tail, and otter feet, it is one of only 2 monotremes in the world mammals that lay eggs. When European scientists first examined a specimen in the 18th century, they were so baffled that they assumed it was a hoax sewn together by a taxidermist. The other egg-laying mammal is the echidna, often called the spiny anteater. Together, these creatures represent a branch of evolution that has remained distinct for millions of years. Australia's natural wonders extend far beyond its wildlife. The Great Barrier Reef, visible from space, is the largest living structure on our planet. It is composed of billions of tiny organisms known as coral polyps and supports an ecosystem of unparalleled diversity. On the other side of the country, in Western Australia, you can find Lake Hillier. This body of water is a permanently vibrant pink, looking more like strawberry milkshake than water. The color is due to a specific type of algae and bacteria, and it remains pink even when you scoop it into a glass. Consider the sheer scale of the agricultural industry here. The world's largest cattle station, Anna Creek Station, is located in South Australia. It is mind-bogglingly huge, larger than the entire country of Israel and bigger than some US states. To manage livestock in such a vast landscape, Australians built the dingo fence. It is the longest fence in the world, stretching for over 5,600 kilometers. To put that in perspective, it is longer than the distance from London to New York, standing as a testament to the country's unique approach to wildlife management. When it comes to the environment, Australia is full of surprises. You might imagine it as a hot, dry continent, but the Australian Alps actually receive more snowfall annually than Switzerland. It is a reminder that this continent possesses a climate far more diverse than the stereotypes suggest. Deep in the ancient rainforests of the north, you will find the cassowary, a bird often called a living dinosaur. And in the Daintree rainforest, which is the oldest continuously surviving tropical rainforest on Earth, you are walking through an ecosystem that has existed for over 135 million years. The country's history is as rich and varied as its landscapes. Indigenous Australians have a continuous cultural history stretching back over 65,000 years, making it the oldest living culture on Earth. Their profound connection to the land is woven into the very fabric of the continent. In more recent history, there are some truly bizarre chapters. For instance, in 1932, the Australian military conducted a military operation against a population of flightless birds, known as the Great Emu War. Surprisingly, the emus proved too elusive for the soldiers' machine guns, and the military eventually withdrew. There is also the mystery of a prime minister who vanished. In 1967, Harold Holt went swimming at a beach in Victoria and was never seen again. In a demonstration of the distinct Australian sense of humor, a swimming pool was later named in his honor. When it comes to innovation, Australians have a surprising track record that has changed the modern world. They invented the black box flight recorder, which is now mandatory on all commercial aircraft. They also developed the electronic pacemaker, saving countless lives. Perhaps most significantly for our daily lives, the core technology behind Wi-Fi was developed by scientists at Australia's National Science Agency, the CSIRO. They were originally searching for exploding black holes when they stumbled upon the mathematics that now allows us to connect wirelessly. Let's not forget the quirks of the Australian landscape. There is an underground coal fire at Burning Mountain in New South Wales that has been burning continuously for about 6,000 years. It is the oldest known coal fire in existence, slowly moving through the earth. In the Kimberley region, you can witness the horizontal waterfalls. This phenomenon occurs when massive tidal currents are forced through two narrow gorges, creating the illusion of a waterfall rushing sideways across the water's surface. The biodiversity here is simply astounding. Australia is home to the world's most venomous snake, the inland taipan. A single bite contains enough venom to take down 100 adult men. However, it is a recluse species and rarely encounters humans. On the friendlier side, Rottnest Island is home to the quokka. These small marsupials have no natural predators on their island home, which has made them incredibly friendly and photogenic, earning them the title of the happiest animal on Earth. Geologically, the continent is on the move. Australia is the fastest-moving continent on the planet, drifting north by about 7 centimeters every year due to tectonic plate shifts. This movement is significant enough that GPS coordinates in the country have to be adjusted periodically to keep them accurate. The flora is just as intense as the fauna. Eucalyptus trees, which dominate the landscape, contain an oil that is highly flammable. In extreme bushfire conditions, this oil can vaporize, creating massive fireballs. It is a landscape that has evolved to burn and regenerate. Koalas, which feed exclusively on these eucalyptus leaves, have a fascinating trait. Their fingerprints are so similar to human fingerprints that they have, on rare occasions, confused crime scene investigators. Culturally, the nation is known for its relaxed attitude, but they take their democracy seriously. Australia is one of the few countries where voting is compulsory for all eligible citizens. It is often celebrated with a democracy sausage sizzle at polling stations, turning election day into a community event. The country also boasts some of the cleanest air in the world. The Cape Grim Baseline Air Pollution Station in Tasmania monitors air that has traveled over thousands of kilometers of the Southern Ocean without touching land, providing a benchmark for clean air globally. And let's consider the railways. The Nullarbor Plain is so flat and featureless that it hosts the longest straight stretch of railway track in the world. The Indian Pacific train travels for 478 kilometers in a completely straight line, a journey that highlights the vast emptiness of the interior. From the Bungo Bungo Range, with its beehive-shaped rock formations, to the iconic Uluru that changes color at sunset, the geological diversity is breathtaking. Uluru itself is an inselberg, or island mountain, and is sacred to the Anangu people, the traditional owners of the land. Australia is also a place of linguistic efficiency. The locals are famous for shortening words. Breakfast becomes brekkie, afternoon becomes arvo, and service stations become servos. It is a dialect that reflects a laid-back and friendly national character. Even the stars tell a story here. The Australian flag features the Southern Cross, a constellation only visible from the Southern Hemisphere, which has been used for navigation by indigenous people and sailors for millennia. Finally, it is a place where nature constantly defies explanation. In the Northern Territory, you can see magnetic termite mounds. These towering structures are aligned perfectly north to south to regulate their internal temperature, showcasing a level of engineering by insects that rivals human architecture. From the pink lakes to the red deserts, from the snow-capped Alps to the tropical reefs, Australia is a continent that demands to be explored. It is a place where history, nature, and innovation collide in the most unexpected ways, creating a land that is truly like no other on Earth. And there you have it. 50 facts that prove Australia is basically a fantasy land designed by a mad scientist. Which fact blew your mind the most? Was it the Emu War or the Q poop? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.